What's up, and welcome to another episode of Verbal Vibe Mode. I'm your boy Conga Beast, and joining me is the always lovely, always ready, beautiful Lady G. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm jiggy. I'm real jiggy.
Jiggy?
Yeah.
Are we bringing that back?
I'm bringing it. I've been saying jiggy for like the last 3.5.
Are you counting with your fingers and toes right now?
Yeah, you know I only got 3 on every.
Ew. Why you got cartoon hands and feet? That is so nasty.
Right?
Ew. That's how we
like
started.
Danny DeVito's Penguin and Batman.
It says toxic Avengers appendices. I can't even talk.
Man, that's just something to think about. Okay, I don't want to think about that anymore at all.
Now you gotta do like the little V sign with your hands.
All right. Anyway, now that everybody has that disturbing image in their head, trying to wonder what Congo Beast's appendages look like, today's topic, we are discussing our favorite. What the?
What is going on? Are you all right? How are you doing?
I thought I was jiggy, but my is saying
so jiggy now, are you?
My body and mouth has both betrayed me. All right.
Right.
Today we are discussing our favorite franchise. Okay.
So yes, Burger King, McDonald's. No, we're not doing food. Yes. I wish we were, but we're not. No food right now.
This is movie edition.
Okay, y'all little pause. Put a food down. We'll come back with more food.
Every time we do a daggone podcast, it ends up with food. I think people are probably a little sick of food. Ain't nobody send us any messages yet, but
because they're eating. What you mean?
Yeah, I really enjoy.
Actually, I do enjoy because I didn't know what I was going to have for dinner. I appreciate it.
Somebody eating that nasty hand-breaded BK chicken sandwich right now.
What is it called? The chicken or whatever?
Is it called the chicken? The hand-breaded chicken?
I think it is.
It just looks bad. I haven't had it. It looks terrible. It looks like it's just mostly bread. Like
I know what you mean. Like it's just breading and not enough.
Yeah, I feel like there's a small piece of chicken in there, like in the dead center. Like I'm here. You ain't gonna taste me, but I'm in here.
Like a sliver of chicken.
Like I showed up. But like I said, we are going to be discussing our favorite franchise. This is the movie edition because we can go all day long when it comes to franchises on any topic. Lady G.
Oh my God, I get to go first?
Hit these people. What? Yes, ma'am.
I'm not a guest.
You're not a guest, but I'm not doing this with you.
All right, whatever. Fine.
Hit these people with your franchise, girl.
So when we were first propositioned with this topic of sorts, the first thing that came to mind, and possibly a couple of you are into the same type of genre I am. And as soon as I say the genre, y'all are going to be like,
everybody's stroking their chin. Inquiring minds want to know.
Don't stroke your chin too hard. You don't got no beards. Don't grow. I have to. If we're talking about franchises, the horror. Where do you think I'm going to go with this? You know I have to go back to 1984. Before I was even born. Just because it was just that creepy. And that iconic, his name's Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Elm Street. You know I had to pick this one.
I honestly did not think you were going to go for that.
You didn't think I would? That's
I didn't know that was going to be your favorite. I mean, there was a lot in that series. There was a lot in that series. I'm not gonna say all of them were great.
Oh, absolutely not. I personally, me as a fan and has all of them, whatever VHS did it. I am not a fan of all of them, and I'm pretty sure you know which ones are trash.
Yes, that's a given.
But we'll just, we'll just go over the entirety of. We ain't got to break down each one's trash and say why it was trash because eventually it did get a little bit campy. Not that it wasn't. Anyway, it was original because essentially it paired the dream world, you sleep, and reality. So skewing those two together, Wes Craven, rest in peace, a freaking Robert Englund, they did that.
Man, Robert Englund is great. He's just so good. He is so
He's
good.
awesome.
The thing about movies back then, especially horror movies, it wasn't really like Wes Craven. Nightmare on Elm Street terrified the crap out of me.
As it was supposed to.
Okay, Wes Craven did his thing on that movie.
What other serial killer was killing people and cracking
Man,
jokes?
so good, right?
Chasing people in the alleyway with his spaghetti arms. Come on, son. Who was doing that?
Made you so comfortable.
Who was sticking their tongue through the phone trying to lick you in the mouth, Nancy?
Ah,
Like scenes like that you just remember. You telling me you don't remember Johnny Depp in the bed?
oh my goodness!
Her in the bathtub?
Spoiler alert!
Ah,
Johnny Depp
come
got
on,
got.
son. Ain't no
I'm sorry.
spoilers. Come on, son.
Johnny Depp got. It was
Do I really have to put a spoiler warning on this?
yes, because these people act like they can't watch movies.
Is that my fault you haven't seen? Like, I mean, if you bypassed it by now, you may watch and be like, "Ah, this shit corny as hell." It's a different
But
time.
even still, it's still not like the original is not corny at all. It's just
It hits. It's different.
it really does still hit because it's scary, but it's almost like a horror comedy that when you actually do go to sleep, you're like, oh, this probably could
Yeah.
like
You over here like, "Yeah, that movie was funny." Until you gotta turn the light off. You're like,
yeah.
"I really gotta go to bed now."
Man, what other movie besides Leprechaun where you know the villain, the horror villain, is also the comic relief?
Chucky.
Oh yeah, Chucky
I'm
is.
not I'm not giving him credit, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
basically, horror films after that were bore from, Freddy Krueger and just Robert Englund's greatness.
and it sucks because the studio literally ruined that franchise.
Oh, yeah, they did. They ran that shit down. There was
It,
even a
it,
freaking,
it,
TV series.
yeah,
They did a lot with that.
a TV series, a freaking versus movie.
Yeah, they did the
and
Freddy versus Jason.
It was just all over the place.
He
They
pulled back up for that, so I wasn't too mad about it, but I was still like, "This wasn't really necessary because we didn't really
at
need that."
all,
Like,
no
they
one.
they really did a versus before versus. Does that make sense to y'all?
Somebody just like, hey, it's a fun idea, and everybody like, no,
Yeah, slow-mo Jason Voorhees against freaking Freddy.
none of those are fun
You saw him
ideas.
whacking him in a movie? Come on, son. It wasn't. It was just
None of those are fun
quick
ideas.
cash grab for, like, the generation that grew up with them. It was yeah, that wasn't necessary, but it happened. It happened.
And I hate Jason Voorhees so much,
Why do you hate
but that's a
Jason?
whole nother story for a whole nother day. I hate Jason because it's just this. At the end of the day, everybody and their mama know that Jason is still just a
He
man,
is.
but he's a big
Yeah.
man. But the simple fact that he's like a unstoppable killing machine is kind of like,
Hey, listen, this is why you don't make fun of people, alright? You don't make fun of people, you don't drown them in Camp Crystal
I
Lake,
mean,
and then you don't talk about their
his
mama,
mama,
alright?
his
So
mama was crazy. She started all of it in the first.
she
Oh,
she
I'm
well, yeah,
sorry.
she did.
Spoiler warning. Jason Voorhees' mother was a psychopathic killer. Oh, you didn't know
Ba
that.
bum ba
You
bum,
probably shouldn't be listening to this. I
wow.
don't understand. Like people, I feel like of all the episodes that we did, this is gonna be the episode. I can't believe that you ruined that for me. I never seen the movie. I never seen
Nah,
Freddy
you
versus
what
Jason.
okay, whatever.
Uh, uh,
I will put the spoiler in the show notes. Hopefully you read
I
them.
can't believe
Please.
that you told me that Jason cut Freddy's head off at the end of the movie, and then Freddy woke up and winked. Yeah, that's the end of the
Yeah.
movie for Freddy versus
You know
Jason.
what time it
Screw you
is.
guys.
You know what time it was.
If studio, I love Freddy Krueger. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I just really wish they just. It was fun.
All the personality, all the murderers and killings and blood. It was great. Stuff like that makes me basically I
Oh
don't wanna
yeah.
say picky nowadays when it comes to horror, I just have less patience for them because they're all in the same
Ah,
vein, all about the sorcery, the witchcraft of it all, and it just runs into the same thing. When is the last time somebody actually made, like, an original villain?
thank you. There's a whole nother Halloween movie coming out.
Oh, 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 I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The other movies in this franchise don't count, but I do love the first one, Jeepers Creepers. I will say that was different.
Okay,
My bad.
Jeepers
I
Creepers was
apologize for
good.
Jeepers Creepers. Part 1.
Part 1 and part 1 alone.
Part one
What are
and a
there,
half.
3 parts? There's
2
3
no,
parts, right?
2
Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers, creepers. Holy crap, there is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Oh my word. The fourth film in the Jeepers Creepers series is coming out in late
There's
2021.
4, and it's coming out. There we go. So there's more than one Jeepers
Ah,
Creepers that we don't acknowledge. You know what? We will acknowledge part 1 and 2. That's it.
yo, 2 is mad funny.
Yeah, we'll
2 is
acknowledge part
hilarious.
1 and 2. 2 just for the comic relief, 1 for the originality of the story and introducing a new creature. So that's my bad.
Like, the stuff that the kids were doing was just like, "Come on, nigga, why? Nigga, really? You're gonna do"
It was
okay.
funny because it's
Mhm.
a freaking
So,
gaggle of
we're all
kids, come
gonna
on.
spoiler alert,
Hilarious.
we're all gonna get out the bus and go search for help instead of just trying to
Goofy, just the kids? What about the admins that was with them? The chaperones? No, we're gonna get off the
Why?
bus on what was it, mile 9? Whatever mile it was Country Mile. We'll just call it Country Mile for the sake of the episode, and we gonna walk down the street together, guys, and we have 1 flashlight to all of us. Swoop, swoop.
Walk down the street with some
Bright
bat
yellow leather
humanoid
jackets.
creature picking us off.
Oh, no, Batman saw us.
Let's just stay in the bus till morning. No, that's a terrible idea because some guy got his head ripped off in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Batman can't penetrate a bus, what? Oh, he
Yo,
just clawed the bus back like a sardine can.
when
Yes, he did.
the kid got his head ripped off and he
He
was
was not
just
playing with
swinging
him,
for the
and he was
fences,
just woo, 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 woo.
I died laughing like, what TF is going on?
Just the hijinks alone in that movie make it worth it. So, yes,
Oh,
Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 recommended. The rest of them,
Jeepers
we
Creepers
warned
3
you.
is
Don't
trash,
bother.
and apparently Jeepers Creepers 4 is coming. I seen some of Jeepers Creepers 3, and I was like,
Is that
I'm
bad?
gonna turn my computer off. I was like,
It
what
was
is this?
garbage.
Oh man! But as far as creating a character, original character, I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. It's actually Jeepers Creeper. I mean, he's a creepy person, so
Absolutely.
it was actually good. But for that storyline, you could tell that the director really didn't know what else he was gonna do with that. So it was
That
kind of,
director has some other issues too, but we ain't gonna
oh
get into
my
that.
good,
But
oh girl,
so
woo! These people out here wilding.
Jeepers Creepers was the least of his worries. We'll say that. But yeah, he had created something, but in 3 he didn't deliver on like telling the story because you wanted to know more of his background or whatever, but it didn't come through fully. I'll say. But yeah, Freddy Krueger, guys. See, we got off topic.
Freddy Krueger. That's a great pick, especially because, like you said, originality is actually still scary. It still holds up today
It
because
really
it's still
does.
like a creepy, shiver down your spine feeling.
Yeah, just thinking about it, it's kinda like, "Damn, that shit is very creepy. You gotta be a
Yeah.
sick to come up with a
Thinking
freaking
about
story like
exactly thinking about Freddy Krueger is almost like thinking about sleep paralysis.
Oh, I'll tell you about the sleep paralysis I had last week. Cause my god, being awake, but you can't move and you just locked in. You
Exactly.
up, your eyes are open, you see
Exactly.
around
It's
you, but
kinda
you
like,
cannot move.
TF you gonna do in a
Horrible
dream.
feeling. I don't wish that on nobody, but
Exactly.
yeah,
Man,
terrible.
no, 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 no,
It
no,
is
no, no, no,
horrible,
no.
and this is somebody that's
Oh, no.
great at waking themselves
No,
up. It
no.
happens. Mm-mm.
Terrible.
It backfires, you just sitting there like, "I alright, I can't move.
No, no, no,
This is
no, no,
interesting."
no.
No joke. No freaking joke.
Sleep paralysis is terrifying. I experienced it as a young lad. I was at least 8 or 9, and when you're 8 or 9, experience sleep paralysis and nobody ever told you what that
Mhm.
was, you literally think your life is ending.
That's
It's
when I got
like
good at waking myself up because I was like,
now
I can't scream. I can basically just how you're sleeping, you can't really do much. You're just like,
man.
like you're in your dream, you think you're
Mhm.
talking, but all you're doing is, "Ah," but you can't really talk because your mouth is still Yeah,
Now
imagine that.
imagine that, and after seeing WGN play all them horror movies all the time on
Yo,
Saturday
back to
nights,
back.
and you're just like,
TNT and USA
"Oh
all
my
day.
goodness, you gotta be kidding me. This is the day that I can be able to move? I can't
He's gonna get me
this
because I can't move.
Listen, the minute I was able to move, I ran to my little brother like, "Hey, bro,
Hello.
we gotta watch TV together."
We about to watch some cartoons, yo. Cue it up.
Dude, I don't care. I don't care. Call me a baby all you want to. I was
Oh, nah,
scared.
I'll be a baby for that. They used to get me when I say they, my siblings, they used to get me with the Jason Voorhees sound
Oh,
all the time. Be like, bruh, I can't take it.
oh,
Well, now it doesn't do much to me, but when I hear it, I'd be like,
oh, my goodness.
ugh.
Yes, yeah. But great movie.
Nightmare on Elm Street, guys. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Watch the ones that Wes Craven and Robert Englund involved in. Other than that, you on your own. There are a couple in there
Yeah.
that'll be strikeouts because they are not great.
If you wanna follow the storyline, I say, yeah, go ahead.
Because they don't necessarily make sense in
Yeah.
order, so that's the thing. And then I'm sorry, Dream Warriors was fucking stupid, but people love that one for whatever reason.
I don't understand that. I
I don't
still
know
don't get that
why
movie.
people love that one.
I
I don't
still
know.
don't get that movie, but whatever.
Yeah, it is. It's touch and
Uh,
go. If you just want to watch something goofy, either that or just put it on your list for this Halloween.
yeah.
Run through them all. It's good stuff.
Do yourself a favor. Watch the first one and watch Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That's it. Don't waste your time.
I mean, you can watch a couple. Don't watch that new one that came out in the 2000s. Don't bother.
Oh,
Mm-mm. We
no,
don't acknowledge that
'cause
because nobody was involved in that. Mm-mm.
listen, they really wanted to hint on the pedophilia in that
Yeah,
one,
and they
and that was
tried it because they removed that aspect from the '84 one because there was an actual case going on that
yeah,
was not similar but
yeah.
parallel-ish to that time. But yeah, don't bother.
Don't
They really tried it.
waste of time,
All
waste
my
your
life.
time, watch something else. Wait a minute, this new one was directed by music? What?
Bro, don't even bother. Do not bother. Don't.
This was made by a dude with a freaking music career? Get out of here. Anyway,
Don't bother. Well, you can't say that because you know who with a music career has done some great horror movies.
oh,
Mm,
yeah,
mm. Rob
yeah.
Zombie, if you didn't catch that. But okay.
That's well, 2 was there. The first one was fantastic, but 2 was like,
The man is still talented though.
oh, he's very talented, but 2 was a strong
Alright.
add.
Alright.
Dude, but Rob Zombie, yeah, Rob Zombie is fantastic. I
He's the
do
man.
like it. I like it.
Yeah.
He is freaking great. The man even got some crazy
He got some
lyrics.
bangers.
Oh yeah.
He got some bangers on him. He probably like, "Y'all know Rob Zombie's music?"
Yeah,
Yeah, we
exactly.
do. Ooh.
Come on now. We're audiophiles. I think it would be disrespectful if we didn't know of Rob Zombie and his work. Period. If you listen to us long enough, you understand where we're coming.
You'll get it eventually. If you don't, you'll catch it soon.
Dude, now that was great. Actually, I love that shit. That was fantastic.
Alright, so now if you know Kong,
If you know me,
I feel like this is gonna go in one direction.
I think they already know. Why?
The way that he's talking and his
I gotta get a little deeper and a little more light skin.
he's getting into character right now for you. This is terrible.
It's not terrible. Why? Why is it not terrible, G?
Oh my god.
Because it's all about family, G.
Because
It's all about family. And if you don't know where that line is from, I'll give him another one. I'll give him another one. She say she gonna cut this out. She say she gonna cut this out, but she ain't gonna cut it out because it's too good.
who said I was gonna did I okay, hello audience. Did I ever say I was gonna cut anything
Hey
off?
Dom, hey Dom, why'd you bring the dust? I can't even do it. I
They
can't even
do
do
it
it because
right.
it's too good. It's too good. It's too good. It's too good. We're gonna do another take on it. Hey Dom, why'd you bring the buster? Because the buster cut me out of handcuffs. Okay,
God,
like that, just like that. You gotta know what we rocking with then. We gotta know. We gotta know what we rocking with then.
yes, Ja Rule's greatest hits, guys.
You don't understand?
No.
You don't
Might
understand?
as well tell these people.
Oh, okay. So we gonna rock him with another one. We're gonna rock him with another one. See, win or lose, you get me. But if you win, you get her too.
I hate this cadence that you're saying.
We
It
don't
is
know what we talking about?
horrible.
You know what we talking about? We are talking about the one and only
Why? But
Fast
why?
and Furious movie because it's all about family, G. That's why. That is why. I'm Dominic Toretto.
Are you?
No, but I wish.
All right, Con, go on ahead and tell us about this franchise that will never end and is literally still
Oh my
going to this
gosh.
day. Please enlighten us.
If you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what you have going on in your life. Fast and Furious is a movie that started off with drag racing?
Street racing. Street racing at its
Yeah,
core.
let's say street racing. The plot of the original movie was to send a detective undercover. The detective played by the late and great Paul Walker, may he rest in power, to investigate a family
Why
or
do you have to do
a
this?
car
Why do you have
thief
to do this?
family, or back then it was, what were they stealing? DVD players and TV. Yo, that's it. Oh my goodness.
Ah,
This movie is so freaking old. DVD players was still cool back then. Like the original movie was released in 2001 because I forgot how important DVD players were to us back then. Like DVD players were hundreds of dollars for us back in 2001. Do you not remember that? I remember the big booty, big screen TVs with the projector inside. And my old man, like my mom gave my old man a DVD player for it was one of his birthdays or something. And it was like the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And the first movie,
oh my god, if it is Fast and the Furious, I
the
will break
first movie
that
that
DVD
we
player.
put in that DVD player, do you know what it
It better
was?
not be
G?
Fast and the Furious. The hell kind of origin story is this?
It was
Are you
all
kidding
about
me?
family, G. It was Fast and Furious. That was the first movie that I put in that DVD. Listen. Fast and Furious was amazing. And I've been following it for
Uh,
10 movies. 9 original, at this point, 1 spinoff. The movie has gotten out of hand. Am I upset with that? Not at all. Am I enjoying every bit of it?
just out of
You
hand?
bet your butt. Fast and Furious 1, you started off with an original cop. It was a cat and mouse. It was a cat and mouse game. It was a cat and mouse movie. And then he got too attached because he went out with Dom's sister. And then it was like, oh man, cat mouse.
First
I
of all,
can't
ain't
do it.
nobody tell
I
his
can't
whole
do
ass
it.
to go out with
That
his sister
that
anyway.
was that
Second
was
of all, what
kind of
was you doing?
ridiculous.
Were you really undercover or were you enjoying yourself? Cause
It really looked like he was in it for his own
yeah,
personal gain. Like
he
he seen
was.
her once and was just like, "Well, I'm sold. I'm sold." And he's like, "Bruh, give it some time." What you put in that tuna? Dom. So that happened. He becomes friends with Dom. He dates his sister. This is played again by the late and great Paul Walker. And then at the end of the movie, they have one last street race
Yeah.
to see who's really the best. And then bam! Dom gets hit by a train in his daggone muscle car. Paul Walker gives him his car and tells Dom, just go. You hear sirens in the background. Paul Walker's walking all smooth, and then it goes black. Then Too Fast, Too Furious shows up, and then we hungry cuz Tyrese comes walking in the picture. Him and Paul Walker go at it, beat the crap out of each other because Paul Walker got him locked up by accident. Actually, they got locked up as kids. Like nobody really wanted to talk about that. But it was like they were troublemakers. Wait a minute, if you got a felony, you can't become a cop. It was weird. Like it was just a whole. So they go on a mission together because there's a drug guy smuggling drug stuff, doing drug things. It's Miami. It was kind of like a, come on, isn't most of Miami just that? And it was like,
What kind of ode to
all
GTA
right,
is this? Okay.
yeah,
Continue. Continue.
it was so ridiculous. But they also introduce Roman. No, Roman Pierce is Tyrese. They also introduced Chris Ludacris Bridges. The man
Luda.
was cool. He was wearing a jumpsuit, which was kind of short. It was hilarious. And he had a fro in this. It
Yes,
was
he
great. This is
did.
before Luda decided to cut his hair. Like, I have a poster. Listen to me, people. I got a poster of Too Fast, Too Furious with all of them standing on their cars. It was like It was Luda. It was the Asian girl. I can't remember her name, so I don't want to be disrespectful. You had Roman Pierce, played by Tyrese Gibson. You had Paul Walker on there. The Latin cat who was from Prison Break. I can't remember his name either. Oh,
Wow.
Michael Ealy was in this movie. Michael Ealy was in Too Fast, Too Furious. It just kept hitting us with great appearances.
Bro, the surprise that he has just proves that Kong 2 fell asleep during this franchise.
Hey, no, I didn't. I'm just, piecing it all together. Okay.
No, it's okay if you fell asleep.
So then, boom, at the end of the movie, ejectocito, cuz they figure out who the
Oh,
bad
hell
guys
nah.
is. Tyrese literally ejects a guy from a moving vehicle with a literal eject. It was crazy. It was an eject
Would
button.
you trust Tyrese to do that?
I wouldn't trust Tyrese with the cars that they were driving. That's how ridiculous this movie was. The man always was hungry, and for some reason he was always good at driving
He's
cars.
always
It never
eating.
made
He's
sense.
always
Tyrese
eating.
is always gonna have a snack in his hand. Watch all of those movies, and Tyrese, there's not one scene where Tyrese either A, doesn't have a snack, or B, doesn't ask someone for food. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it never fails. Paul Walker goes to the drug dealer with Eva Mendes. They figure out everything. They hop on the boat. Paul Walker drives his car onto a yacht. They kill the bad guy. Eva Mendes gets shot. And then Paul Walker and Roman Pierce are now buddy again. And he says, "We still hungry, cuz." And then Fast and Furious happens. But oh no! Where's Letty? Turns out Letty's car was shot and blown up because she was on a crazy drug run from Mexico back to America. But she wasn't really selling drugs. She was working undercover for the people that was working with Paul Walker. And Paul Walker is an FBI agent now. He's in the FBI. Paul Walker goes with Vin Diesel. And Vin Diesel's like, "Hey, I haven't seen Letty in years. I got a new relationship. I haven't seen Letty in years. She died, Brian." And everybody was like, "Oh man, that's crazy." And then that movie happened. And then he found out that Brian knew the whole time. Like, he killed the bad guys and got one guy locked up. And then that was it. Like, they kill the bad guys, and then the one bad guy goes to prison. But
And
then
guys, this
Dom
plot
gets
happens
locked
in
up
every single
because
movie after.
he's still on the run. Dom is on a prison bus. And then Paul Walker resigns from the FBI, and he goes save Dom on the prison bus, and they knock the bus over. It goes flying. The Mia, and
Yep.
the two who's Hispanic best friends of theirs, and
I can't let you go twice,
somebody
man.
else. And they go and they get Dom. And no, actually, they don't even get Dom at the end of this movie. It just goes vroom, cars. Prison bus, cut to black. It's the rap music at the end of it. Rolling credits. Roll the credits. So then we start off with Fast Five, baby. And oh my goodness, it was exciting. The opening scene is a continuation from Fast and Furious. No one does that anymore. Bam, boom, hit the bus. Get Dom out of there. We're leaving, guys. And then they end up in Rio de Janeiro. And Vin Diesel comes, and The Rock comes. Oh, we
BS.
introduce Dwayne The Rock Johnson in this piece. And do they go at it? Yes. And it's hilarious because The Rock in real life is 6'4", and Vin Diesel in real life is literally probably only 5'5" on a good day. And they fight. And it is the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life. At one point, Vin Diesel uses his head as a spear. Like, he uses his head. Having a bald head must be fantastic.
Oh, apparently Vin Diesel is
Vin
6
Diesel
foot.
ain't no
Okay.
6 feet. If Vin Diesel is 6 feet,
Allegedly.
then
Anyway.
freaking what's little man? Tom Cruise is a giant. Vin Diesel ain't no 6 feet. Get out of here. So they go at it. The Rock Johnson has a whole team established to take down Toretto and his gang. Something else happens to where they have to break into a bank and steal vaults. But it made sense because the police were dirty.
Here we go with the heist.
But they was working for somebody, and they drive down the street with the vaults. That scene is pretty cool.
Come on now, don't
They're
lose
driving
steam
down
now.
the scene. They're driving down the street with the vaults. Actually, you know what makes Fast and Furious pretty dope is that a lot of the like effects that you see in the movie are actually practical effects. A lot of that stuff isn't CG, which actually makes it pretty cool. Hobbs and yeah, they like Dwayne Johnson's name is Hobbs, and they do stuff and they chase after them. Hobbs also has a female on his team named Elena who falls in love with Dom because she's saved by Dom. They're also saved by the bad guys. Like try to kill them, and then Dom and his crew save all of them.
Come on,
and
sell this movie.
Elena ends up staying with Dom at the end of it, and they love each other. And then like Dwayne Johnson gives them like a head start so they can get away. They get away with the money, and then they all leave to go to their own like tropical places so they can continue to run away.
I like how you're slowly winding down. Is this where you stop being interested in the series?
No, it's just like it gets a little ridiculous. Next you have Fast and Furious 6, which then you discover that Letty is still alive and she's working with a crew that also steals and robs and stuff like that. So then Dwayne Johnson wants Vin Diesel's crew to help them, and it's the introduction. No, this one is the introduction of Han and Giselle. Yeah, they came in this movie, and Letty was working with this crew, and then Letty seen Vin Diesel, and then she was like, Letty, played by Michelle Rodriguez, she sees Vin Diesel, and then she's like, oh man, I kind of remember you, and there's other famous Gina Carano. This was also before Gina Carano decided to be racist and ruin her Disney career and pretty much blacklist herself in all of Hollywood. So that happened. Yeah, but she also turns out to be a bad guy, I believe. The Rock and that crew works together and they stop the people, but in the process, Furious 7 comes in. That was the last movie with Paul Walker. Again, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, are you running out of steam? I mean, you don't have to keep explaining the movies at this point. We all know it's the same movie.
Anyway, there's 9 of these movies out.
Yeah.
And got one spinoff because in Furious 7, no,
Should've been the last of the
wait.
franchise,
At the
but
end
you
of
know.
Furious 6, Giselle dies, which is Gal Gadot, and Giselle and Han agreed to go to Tokyo once everything was over. Giselle dies, Han goes to Tokyo. Then Tokyo Drift happens. The terrible movie in the franchise, the worst movie in the franchise, actually. Tokyo Drift happens. But in Tokyo Drift, I want to say roughly the middle, like towards the middle of the movie, Han is killed. We don't find out until to the end credits of Fast and Furious 6 that Han was killed by the bad guys team of Fast and Furious 6, his brother. Okay? All right? You guys following?
No, we're not.
Yeah, I'm not either. Han was killed by their brother, played by Jason Statham. And then Jason Statham goes on a killing spree to try and kill Vin Diesel and his crew, and they have to fight him. And they also meet Kurt Russell, who is Mr. Nobody, I believe. Kurt Russell is in it. And then they don't hate Jason Statham anymore because he's, I guess, not a bad guy, because in Fate and the Furious, he starts working with him. Dom has a baby. Eddie ends up staying with him.
So joyous.
And then Hobbs and Shaw came out. Hobbs started working with Shaw. Shaw played by Statham. Hobbs played by Dwayne Johnson. And then Fast and Furious 9.
Well,
all right. Well, that brings us to the end of another amazing episode.
No, it doesn't. You didn't even freaking tell us why you like the freaking franchise.
Do I though?
You went through the whole thing.
Do I though? Oh man. No, from the jump, I liked the movie. I liked the original movie. I thought the original movie was great. I thought it was just fun. And then I seen Too Fast and Too Furious. I was like, then I seen Tokyo Drift. I was like, where are they going with this? I thought Tokyo Drift sucked. And then
That I did
yeah,
too.
Fast and Furious came out, not the Fast and the Furious. Fast and Furious came out, and I was like, okay, this is. I mean, I understand that they're trying to make something out of it, but it's kind of corny. But then Fast Five came out, and that's when like the action ramped up, the stars in the TV in the show ramped. Like it was just like, okay, we're gonna come at y'all hard. We understand y'all didn't like Fast and Furious. We're gonna make Fast Five something worth watching, and they really did. Like the whole thing between The Rock trying to catch Vin Diesel and his crew was just like, oh, this is actually dope. Fast and Furious 6, it was just fun, and 7 was fun. 7 was just hard to watch given the fact that Paul Walker died like right before the movie came out.
Mhm.
And the way he passed away was just that was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, I just enjoy the ridiculousness of it. I love that it's become like a pseudo. I can't even say espionage. It's just
You could say espionage and heist.
okay, yeah, espionage slash heist movie. It was like yeah, you put fast cars with international, like international. I'm not gonna say spy, but international stealing or I guess whatever Mr. Nobody does. I don't know what Mr. Nobody does, which is Kurt Russell. Is like I don't know. It's just like a saving the world type thing. Fast cars with saving the world. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. I don't go into the movies expecting anything from this. I don't go into the movies expecting to learn something, expecting to think. It's just something fun. I know it's gonna be exciting when I go watch this movie. So that's why I like them. People may hate them. People may think they're ridiculous, but it's kind of like, what do you expect? The original movie was ridiculous. I mean, it still was based in reality, granted.
It was, and at least had the street racing as, like, an original somewhat
Yeah.
original
Street
concept, I'll
racing.
say, for, movies at that time.
Yeah, it was still a major thing, and I remember when the Fast and the Furious came out because it was going against Gone in 60 Seconds. I know a
Yep.
lot of people don't know what Gone in 60 Seconds is, but that's also a really good movie. That movie is actually really good, starring Nicolas Cage, Angelina Jolie. Gone in 60 Seconds had a great cast. A great cast. Robert Duvall, of course. If you haven't seen Gone in 60 Seconds, please do yourself a favor and watch that movie. It's actually really good.
You actually wanna watch a good movie.
But yeah, man, I mean, I just like the silliness and the goofiness of the franchise. Like I said, I don't go into that film expecting it to be great. Really don't. I expect it to keep my interest. I honestly don't get numb from the stuff that they do in these movies. All the ridiculousness is, I don't know. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. For a perfect example, I watched John Wick 3.
Mhm.
John Wick 3, after a while, you just be like, oh goodness, this dude is killing everyone. This nigga has not stopped killing since the beginning of the movie. And you literally just get numb to because every scene after the first 20 minutes, it's just him offing people. You're just like, all right, you guys got another 2 hours of this. But with this, I never get tired of it. I don't know what it is. Like I literally be on the edge of my seat. I
Mhm.
remember we watched it, like we went through it recently, and I was still excited for every bit of it. Every bit of it, I was excited.
The franchise that won't go away.
It won't go
Fine.
away because they got a 10th movie coming out. Hobbs and Shaw has a sequel, and they got an all-female led movie coming out. So I am excited. I am excited, which is cool, but they also, they also do a lot with the females that they have in here. Like it's not
Yeah.
just, oh, Letty is just a sideline. No, Letty can hold her own. And it was funny.
No, she's a main character. I wouldn't even say she's a supporting
Exactly,
cast.
because in the first one, it was a lot about Letty in it from the jump. Even when they went to the street with racing, and the girls was all over Vin Diesel, and she was like, I smell skanks. And he's just like, we're just having a conversation. Just having a conversation. But she decked the guy in the first one. Like, Letty is a whole thing in these shit. I love Michelle Rodriguez in these movies. She never lets me down. Like, I just love that they're like, yeah, she's tough and she will beat the crap out of people. And they just rolled with that for every single movie. Like, even when she came back, she was still fighting and beating the crap. Like, it's not just dudes in this. Like, there's females going toe to toe. You're just like, yeah. Like, you get excited to see everybody doing their thing. So I love it. The characters are great. Freaking Ludacris and Tyrese together, the funniest bunch. The Rock and Jason Statham together, hilarious. It just works. The movies just work. So yeah, I love the franchise. Sue me,
Indeed, indeed. I don't think we'll sue you, but sure.
fight me,
Why would we fight you over this movie?
change my mind. Is that more subtle?
I have nothing to change your mind with, sir. It's okay. You're allowed to like what you like.
So with that being said, did you have any honorable mentions? Just a quick honorable mention.
Let me stay in my Wes Craven vein. I'm gonna mention Scream.
Oh yes.
I keep going back on like, innovative villains, but there was another one, Ghostface.
I've never seen Scream 4.
We're running them back. I've been wanting to watch them because I haven't watched them in a while.
Can we please look at the cast of Scream 1?
That was iconic, bro. Like that was different. You want to talk about an actual character that was like newish, 1996, but stuck with you?
But the freaking Matthew Lillard as the killer? Oh my goodness, he was so
Not just Matthew. Who else?
was David no, who was it? Was David Arquette the killer too? No. Or was it
Come on,
no, David Arquette. Okay.
Billy.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness. What is Skeet doing now?
It's okay. I don't know what Skeet is doing. I haven't seen his face in a long
He's not
time.
doing anything. Oh, I guess he's in Riverdale. Hmm. Okay. Never watched the show, but
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I forgot about him. Oh my god.
hey. Jeez.
He was Archie's dad in Riverdale.
But where I just run a quick glance over it. Rose McGowan, I don't care about you. Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard,
Oh
Amy
my
Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Roger L. Jackson, Liev Schreiber, Drew Barrymore,
Yeah.
freaking Jada Pinkett. Like these, I don't know. Wait, Jerry was, I forgot. Was Jerry O'Connor in the first one or the second one? He was in the second one, right?
He was in the first one.
Timothy Oliphant. Was that the second one or the first one? That was the first one too?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Timothy was
right.
out here. He was the first one. Listen, the first one had a lot of people in that movie.
Good grief, that first one was so good. It was so
It was very good.
good.
Wes Craven, man. Sheesh, talk about creativity. Freaking great direction. It's like literally small town drama, freaking murder
Oh
fest.
man, good
Great.
stuff.
But anyway, let me keep going. La, la, la. I'll step out of freaking horror. Be like, gee,
She does.
she
She's
just
a creepy
watch
girl.
creepy movies, huh? No, I like to laugh. I like to laugh at her. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was that?
That's people heard me and like, oh, he did it. Yeah, sure. Like the eyebrows
Like,
raised,
yeah,
eyes going, oh,
okay, okay. I have to mention Back to the Future because McFly. Who would I be if I didn't mention it?
Without Doc.
You have to.
Oh man, that movie had a great cast also.
It's just a great story. Like 3 wasn't necessary, but I'm.
Oh my goodness. 3 was so, it was like the third of the Ninja Turtles. It didn't make any sense. It was just there. It was just there. Like, why are you here? Anyway, yeah, I love it. I love both of them.
Even though a lot of these sequels don't count too. House Party.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about a cast?
How
Bro,
did we forget about that?
what do you mean we? I said House Party. It's literally my favorite movie. So freaking good.
Man.
It holds it for me because I love the comedy. I love the comedy.
That's some good stuff right there. Did you have anything else or is that it?
You know I have movies for days.
I'm a
You got
chef.
movies for days,
I'm a chef.
franchises for days.
All right, so those are my bonuses. Did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Keeping with the comedy, the first one I'm gonna throw out is Friday. One of the very few that is.
Hey,
All of
perfect.
them are pretty solid. Every single one. I mean, Even with the adding of Mike Epps,
Yeah,
they're
they hold up.
real solid movies. All funny. And even if the whole thing not funny, it all has their moments. Like there's never a moment in any of the Friday movies where you're just like, all of it is like, okay, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they're all really solid. So the Friday franchise is great. If you haven't seen those movies, please do yourself a favor and watch them. For the next one, Scary Movie. And I'm gonna stick with the original two, directed, written and directed by the Wayans brothers, because Keenan was the main thing. He was the main boy. But Marlon and Sean, they definitely did their thing on that joint. Scary Movie 1 and 2. I know there's 5 of them, but the first 2 are the ones that actually matter. Hilarious movies, really funny movies, really fun movies, actually. So if you ever have some free time, go ahead and watch them.
Not even that. After you watch my whole horror list, you watch that so you laugh
You ain't
at
lying,
the
cause y'all got to get out of whatever funk that Lady G has put y'all in. Cause good grief,
Well,
she gonna have
sorry,
all
I'm
of
not
y'all
sorry.
scared by the time y'all get done watching them movies. And I'm gonna kick it over to action again and say the last but not least honorable mention for me, with 3 solid action movies, comic book movies, Batman. Solid 3 movies. Can't complain. Great movies.
Can you tell us which movie specifically so they don't get
Oh,
caught up in
yeah,
the
because
ones?
y'all definitely gonna go to that George Clooney joint and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I
this
know
is
exactly where they
this is
going.
fantastic. He got bat nips. Look at his package." Which is also something strange that Joel Schumacher wanted to focus on, but that's neither here nor there.
He really did. Why
That
was that a
because it was
thing?
Joel
Whatever.
Schumacher. He
Anyway,
man sexualized the entire Batman series. Like, what's happening right
mm-mm,
now? But I'm talking about the ones directed by the great Christopher Nolan. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight,
was
and
my
The Dark
fave.
Knight Rises. Batman Begins is the story of Batman and however you want to say it, Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Every way is correct unless you actually talk to the people who created the story. Then that's another story. The Dark Knight is my favorite comic book movie, hands down. Actually, it could be one of my no, it is my favorite comic book action story driven movie of all
We'll
time.
take it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's
You don't have to apologize for that.
the acting is the acting is over fantastic. It is top notch. Story is great. Action is great. It is just it's one of those movies where you're just like, there's literally no comic book that will ever top this. If you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor. I think it's still on Netflix. It might still be on Netflix. Do yourself a favor and watch. No, it's not on Netflix anymore. I apologize. It is on
He
Hulu.
doesn't apologize. He wanted to psych you guys out. I think it's on HBO Max.
It is on HBO Max also. Do yourself a favor, watch it on TV. Make sure you're watching it on a 4K HDR TV. You
Yeah, so
will
you can see
not.
Christian Bale's face.
Oh my goodness. Christian
Yeah.
Bale's face, freaking Heath Ledger's face, Gary Oldman's face. Aaron
Yep.
Eckhart is gorgeous in this movie. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna sit here in front. Aaron
He meets
Eckhart,
before and after the burn, guys.
yeah, yo, before and after the burn. Like, not even tripping. Oh my goodness, Aaron Eckhart is gorgeous in this movie. Listen,
Dark Knight, guys. Watch it.
a fantastically done movie. Everything from the practical effects to the CGI. The CGI for Two Face,
Fire!
gee, the little marks that they did on the pillow when Two Face lifts his face off the pillow, and it's just, oh my goodness.
Okay, so you know what? We this was supposed to be a short episode, guys. Whoops.
This was fun. I can't wait to do
She
more
made us
editions of
do.
this. This is great.
But if you have a movie franchise that we did not mention or did, feel free, hit us up on social media or visit us at our website, verbaldvibemode.com. Unless you're mentioning Problem Child or any of
I
those.
don't know.
my God, she said took it so personally. I did. But that concludes today's episode of Verbal Vibe Mode. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Though I will say Spotify has some pretty cool features. Wink, wink.
Anyway, we gotta get out of here, guys.
All right,
Man, love
later.
y'all.